Bitcoin dominance has just fallen to its lowest point in nearly 3 years, and Ethereum is absolutely dumping to the upside. As Bitcoin continues to look rather dumpalicious, is this truly going to be a summer of altcoin rumpage like last year? And not only that, Ethereum has just hit its highest levels on the Bitcoin pair since summer of 2018. Is a mind-numbing, tummy-twisting breakout on the Bitcoin pair just inches away? Eeny, meeny, miny, mo, hold on to your dumpers and don't let go. Welcome back, Pumpy Squad. I'm Chili Beans, and are we right now getting hints of an alt season that will blast us past $2 and $3 trillion in altcoin market cap, potentially even higher this year? Absolutely wild. Is this actually the altcoin trigger that we've been waiting for? As Bitcoin isn't looking too great, kind of just holding. It had about a $2,000 drop yesterday, and it's just kind of trading sideways now as well. Not really very close to its all-time highs. However, Ethereum has set numerous new all-time highs within just the past few hours. And very similar to this time last year, is this the beginning of an absolutely massive altcoin rally? I think the Bitcoin dominance chart is really trying to tell us something here. So guys, if you're new to the channel, make sure to hit that like, subscribe, turn on those post notifications so you never miss these absolutely time-sensitive updates. And as well, there's only 7 days left of our 5 ETH competition. At this very moment, 5 ETH is worth it's worth around 13,000 US dollars, so that's huge. Currently, this giveaway is a little bit above 13,000 US dollars. Without any further ado, let's jump in. With the upcoming EIP 1559 upgrade, Ether will become a deflationary asset. Nick Spanos, co-founder of Zap Protocol, told CoinDesk, this feature will reduce the coin supply and have a corresponding effect on the price, creating an attraction point for more buyers. So, as far as I'm concerned, ETH is very likely to lead us into a very nice altcoin season, as it is technically the very biggest alt by market cap and influence. And as well, there's two major factors. One, a big Ethereum upgrade coming here in the form of EIP 1559. And as well, the altcoin season just looks like it's timing very well technically on these charts. We see the Bitcoin dominance dropping, which is a necessity or kind of like a requirement for that. And we see altcoins still not receiving across the board the absolutely space gainers that we could come to anticipate based on previous cycles and based on just percentage gains of a lot of these coins over the past cycles. And one of the best ways to illustrate that is here. If we go to, this is the entire altcoin market cap. If we go to the entire cryptocurrency market cap, yeah, let's do that here. This is on the weekly chart. You can see this was the previous all-time high, and since then we've blasted up about almost 200%. From the previous all-time high. And now here, if we go to the entire altcoin market cap, this is also on the weekly chart, we've only blasted, let's actually do this here, we've only blasted about, 130-ish%. So a little lagging behind here, but overall, I mean, you can see what happened in the last altcoin cycle, right? Let's do this real quick. Look at this, absolutely insane gainers there. And this is on the log scale. And you can see this was the previous all-time high. And yeah, it's been pretty nice pumpage, but it's nothing like absolutely trouser dropping. And something as well we've been talking about for like 2 years at this point is the Ethereum Bitcoin pair, which you can see this kind of consolidation going back like 4 years at this point. This is Ethereum paired with Bitcoin. You see it was valued at like a fraction of a percent of Bitcoin's value. It shot all the way up to like 17% of a Bitcoin back in the summer of 2017. Keep in mind, a lot of these altcoin rallies really had very explosive times during the summer of a lot of these years. Summer of 2020 was pretty big for DeFi, pretty big for altcoins in general. Summer of even 2019 was when we saw Bitcoin and Litecoin, Ethereum, and a lot of these coins have a massive rally, kind of actually in April and May of 2019. 2018 was just a horrible year. But 2017 was a big one, and this was the summer of 2017. This was the highest Bitcoin pairing with ETH that ETH has achieved thus far, back in the summer of 2017. But yeah, ever since then, Ethereum compared to Bitcoin has just really been within this type of consolidation pattern here. And this is absolutely very big. So we had an initial break, then we had that backtest that you always look for. We see a backtest time and time again with so many different breakouts on this Bitcoin pair, and it kind of just completed as of the last few weeks. And now we're getting a pretty strong bounce off of here. Currently, Ethereum is just under 5% of a Bitcoin. Now, again, 10 and 15% are two targets for ETH that I've been talking about for a while, and I think that make a lot of sense for ETH's value. Some people actually put it a lot higher than both of those targets. However, I think 10% is a reasonable target for ETH at some point during this bull cycle. And again, a lot of people would say that's very conservative, but I'm trying to be a little conservative with that anyway. I think it could go a lot higher. But again, people are talking $10,000 to $20,000 per ETH this cycle. Well, guys, it has to happen sometime soon. If we're going to get anywhere near those price levels of $10,000 or $20,000 per Ethereum, I mean, things really need to start picking up. Currently, Ethereum is 1/4 of $10,000. It's only 25% of the way to a $10,000 target. It's only like 12% of the way to a $20,000 target. So it's pretty far away if we're going to be hitting any of those targets. So we're going to need to start seeing some blast off very soon. And the best way for that to happen, the easiest and the most logical way for that to happen, is for Bitcoin dominance to decrease and Ethereum soak up some market value, even if it is temporary. Right? When people talk about a $10,000 to $20,000 Ethereum, $200,000 to $300,000 Bitcoin, or like $200,000 to $400,000 Bitcoin, and all of these other crazy price targets, right? $20 ADA, or like a $400 Chainlink, or this and that. When they say those price targets, they're not saying, yeah, it's going to hit that target and that's where it's going to stay. No, those targets, when they say those targets, it's going to hit that and most likely get rejected and not stay there very long. Even if Bitcoin does hit $400,000 this year, I really think it's unlikely that it'll stay there for very long. It'll probably have a pretty big pullback. Those are like top targets, right? Targets that once it hits, it's probably going to top out there. Okay, so with that being said, Ethereum, if it does hit 10,000, if it does hit 20,000 this year, it probably won't be staying there for very long until like the next bull cycle, right? Where those are targets that are like peak for this cycle, and then we're probably going to get a strong rejection, maybe who knows how long, if we even get one because of this fundamental adoption now. And then, maybe $20,000 will be the bottom for ETH in the next bull cycle. And maybe $400,000 per Bitcoin will be the bottom for Bitcoin in the next cycle. But with that being said, even if Ethereum is going to hit those targets, we're going to need to see it start picking up steam first here. And I think this is going to be one of the charts that we're going to see that happen. We're going to need to see Ethereum hit at least 10% of a Bitcoin if it wants to hit some of those high targets, I think. And again, I think altcoins are going to see massive gains at the expense of some of Bitcoin's dominance. And on the Bitcoin chart, you can see Bitcoin's dominance is the lowest that it's been since July of 2018. So almost 3 years ago. This is the lowest Bitcoin dominance has been in almost 3 years. Now, guys, I also just want to zoom back a little bit here because for most of, or at least for, not anymore, it's not the most, but for a long portion of Bitcoin's history, Bitcoin dominance was well above 90%. And then beginning the very first few months of 2017, almost exactly 4 years ago, going back to March and April of 2017, Bitcoin dominance for the first time in history dropped below 90%, and it went way below 90%. Okay, and you can see it happened in multiple legs. We had a 96% down to like 60, bounce back up to like 80%, then a massive drop back down to 50%, back up to 70%, and a massive drop where it ultimately bottomed about 35%. Now, this is just my opinion, but I think it's very likely that we're going to see Bitcoin dominance below 40 and 30%, or at least 35% at some point during this bull cycle. Doesn't necessarily mean it's going to be staying there, but I'm just saying, just like with these charts here, it went all the way down to 35% Bitcoin dominance, but did it stay there? No. In fact, that was the lowest it's gone, and it has not gone that low since. Just a few weeks later, it was all the way back up at 50%, then bottomed at 40%, and then pretty much ever since then, it rode up and was above 60% up until just the last few weeks. As of right now, again, we're right about 50% dominance. And again, this is a clear trend. We can't ignore the trend right now. The trend is clearly Bitcoin dominance decreasing, and decreasing rapidly as well. This is a pretty sharp drop. This is the daily chart, and you can see this is happening rather quickly. And as well, if we go to the entire altcoin market cap chart, again, I really think that if we start seeing this increase more and more, which I think is going to happen, then we'll start seeing this really start to ramp up as well as altcoins gain more value, and altcoins kind of just get more media attention and attention in general. And as well, before we get into other charts, the DXY is having a little bit of a move to the upside today. Interesting, as Ethereum has hit a new all-time high at about 26.46, almost 26.50 per ETH. So again, guys, as we were talking about back here, we were talking about this pattern forever back here in March and April about this pattern breaking out to the upside, and it has hit that target and even more. So it did hit 2,600, which was our target from back here. It hit that, it broke, it actually went even more. So that breakout is absolutely confirmed. Awesome for ETH. But as well, I don't think it's done just yet. And as well, on the Bitcoin chart, what we see here is a continued rejection. Yesterday, as we said, we got a continued rejection off of the 50 DMA. So again, what we might see over the next few days, again, we're going to be going into weekend price action soon, which is not very trustworthy. We're going to be seeing that here very shortly. But yeah, Bitcoin is not looking strong in any sense. We have very strong bearish divergence that is just very clear. I was talking about it back here in like March, and nothing really came of it. We had a little bit of a drop, but nothing really came of it. And again, we had this further bearish divergence even come to light even more recently, and not too much has come of it just yet. We've had a nice dump, but this bearish divergence could even push us much lower than we've gone so far. Again, I think 50K is going to be very strong when we get there, but do I think we could go below 50? I do think that, definitely, but I think 50K is going to be very strong. That'll be the big test. If Bitcoin does break 50K, then expect a big drop if we actually can break 50. But I'm not convinced yet that 50K is going to be easy to break. I think it'll probably be a pretty big challenge. Currently, we're only like $5,000 above it, but that can change very, very fast. But as well, on all these short time frames, there's not really anything very bullish. I mean, Bitcoin just doesn't look very strong on some of these smaller time frames. And Ethereum and some of these altcoins are taking advantage of that, which is just necessary, honestly. It's what the altcoins do. It's how the market has kind of always worked. And again, when Bitcoin trades sideways, that is typically a very good time for altcoins to go really crazy here. The entire altcoin market above $1 trillion again, which is very good. It's only been above $1 trillion a few days in the history of the altcoin market cap. So that's really big. But overall, Ethereum looks really good. And Ethereum needs to continue breaking out here against the Bitcoin pair. And if so, I think that will usher in an absolutely massive alt season. And as well, same thing, yesterday's video, I pretty much only talked about Bitcoin. I haven't really changed my opinion at all about anything. So if you want like Bitcoin TA, you can just watch yesterday's video. I still think Bitcoin has not found a bottom. There's no indications as far as I can tell. And we're seeing that Bitcoin dominance really drop. And that's just an interesting signal to watch here on these charts. And I'm very excited to see just how crazy this altcoin season is going to get. This, I think, is the beginning of altcoin season. Really, ever since 2021 started, altcoins have been doing pretty well. Bitcoin was doing amazing the last 3 months of 2020. And then the first 3 months of 2021, Bitcoin and alts were doing really well. But I could see this kind of shifting now into, Bitcoin first, then Bitcoin and altcoins do pretty good. And now I think we're going to be heading more towards altcoins specifically doing really good. And again, I still think Bitcoin's going to be hitting 6 digits this year, but I think that what's on the very short-term horizon is going to be altcoins starting to shine a little bit. And again, it's hard to time exactly when the craziest altcoin gains are going to come, but if I would have to take a guess, I think it's going to be sooner than later. I think it's going to be within the next 2.5, 3 months maximum. Wow, so if you guys are new to the channel, make sure to hit that like, subscribe, turn on those ghost notifications as well, guys. Make sure to enter for our competition. 7 days left, 5 Ethereum. Again, we probably will be doing another smaller giveaway very soon here, but as well, just make sure to get your entries for this. Again, I hope it's people that don't really have a lot of crypto. So if you have a few ETH, I'm hoping that, maybe it goes to someone that doesn't have a few ETH. But hey, who knows? I'm just going to hit a button and it's going to click random and it's going to pick whoever the winners are. And as well, guys, if you're interested in any of our sign-up bonuses or links, make sure to check out the description below. We have some nice bonuses, some nice gear. Say you need to get a hardware wallet to protect your crypto, because I know a lot of people are new. Definitely do that, because it is important to keep your crypto on a hardware wallet. I have multiple hardware wallets hidden in multiple places, so that way if I lose one or this or that happens, I have it spread out. I think it's smarter. Just like you got to diversify into other cryptos, you also got to diversify where you're storing it. Just keep yourself safe, If something blows up, if one of my wallets blows up, at least I have some of the other wallets. But without any further ado, that's it for me. Bye-bye.